And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. So we all know that Michael Jordan is one of the most efficient scorers in the history of the game of basketball. And when I say efficient, I'm not just talking about field goal percentage. I'm talking about efficiency of movement. And when we think about Michael Jordan, not only from what we have witnessed with our own eyes, but from accounts of other players who have had the privilege of learning from him, such as Kobe Bryant, they talk about how efficient he was as far as movement. It wasn't, matter of fact, Kobe Bryant himself said, you know, with Michael Jordan, there wasn't wasted movement. You know, everything was a purpose and everything was short and concise and to the point and meant to bring the most results with the least amount of movement as possible. So Richard Hamilton, who had an opportunity to play with Michael Jordan in his Wizards years, talked about that Michael Jordan revealed to him his most unstoppable move. So this article is coming from Basketball Network. It says, when Michael Jordan revealed his most unstoppable move to Rip Hamilton, that's the hardest play in the game of basketball to guard. MJ even explained why it was impossible to stop his move. It says, Rip Hamilton realized he was at the right place at the right time when Michael Jordan returned to the NBA and joined the Washington Wizards in 2001. At the time, the Pennsylvania native was in his third season in the league and was coming off a breakout season in DC, averaging 18.1 points per game. Eager to step up his game, Hamilton grabbed the rare opportunity to glean every trick of the trade he could from MJ, especially in scoring. Among the many things he learned from the six-time NBA champion was the two-dribble pull-up jump shot, a play that Jordan himself considered as his most unguardable move. Quote, I've had thousands of them, MJ stories that is. Said that was a kid getting the opportunity to play with the GOAT, the guy you looked up to as a kid, Rip said in an AMA session via Bleacher Report in 2020. One that sticks out for me is playing against him in practice. People look at my mid-range game and say I have one of the best of all time, but a lot of that came off of being in practices with MJ. I remember one time I was playing against him and he took two hard dribbles to the basket and pulled up and he was like, Rip, add that to your game. That's the hardest play in the game of basketball to guard. And I was like, why? And he was like, because as a defender, they are backpedaling. So he can't jump to his highest point to block your shot. He's always off balance and you're always on balance, the UConn alum revealed. People all across the league kept hitting me up like, how did you get your mid-range game so good? From the tools of Michael Jordan, from the opportunity to be around him for the 2 years I was in Washington, he continued. And so the article goes on, but we're going to hold up there. But yeah, I just thought this was very interesting that Michael Jordan considers the two-dribble pull-up the hardest move he has to guard, and him explaining why makes perfect sense. Now, we all know there are a few shots in basketball that has been deemed arguably the hardest shot to guard or whatever, Kareem skyhook being one of them, MJ's fadeaway being one of them. But according to MJ, his hardest move to guard is the 1-2 pull-up. And you see the reason that he gave is because, and it makes perfect sense, because the defender is backpedaling, so the defender is not going to be able to get to his highest jump. And this makes perfect sense because if you watch games, like there are some players, especially as MJ got older, they were able to put up a pretty solid contest against MJ's fadeaway. Now, MJ was just great at making the fadeaway, and then MJ was also great at making the fadeaway from different angles. Well, different angles on the court, but not just that, but as far as if he had to fade away even further back to keep you away from the shot, he was also great at that. But there were players who got pretty good at contesting that fadeaway. Kobe Bryant being one of them, obviously, because Kobe Bryant knew the moves and copied the moves. And it makes sense because coming from the fadeaway, if you're in a post position, the defender is leaning on you. So, you know, the weight is already shifted that way. So despite the fact that you are fading away from the defender is already leaning towards you as well. So, like I said, I've seen Mike's fadeaway be contested well. Now, a lot of the times, I would say most of the times, he's still going to hit that shot anyway. But now that this has come out that he says the 1-2 pull-up is his most unguardable shot, it makes sense because if you think about the majority of Michael Jordan's game winners, they were off of 1-2 pull-ups. They were off of 2 hard dribbles to the right or left and pulling up. And that makes perfect sense. The reason that he gave is because the defender is already backpedaling, so the defender can't get a good contest. I feel like both shots he hit on Byron Russell were like that. And yeah, it's just countless game winners that if you think back to them, that's exactly what they were, whether it be regular season or in the finals. And something else that just made me think about is that the ridiculous, excessive amount of dribbling that these players do today. You know, it's funny that people keep talking about how skilled these players are today and blah, blah, blah. That's what we have to hear every day. JJ Redick, despite you lying about the media telling us that the NBA sucks, I beg to differ. They constantly tell us how skilled these guys are. But again, what are we watching? Like, we're watching a bunch of threes go up and we're watching a bunch of guys dribble the air out of the ball. Like, we're not seeing really efficient offensive guys. We're not seeing guys who have efficient offensive moves. We're seeing guys who have to dribble 1,000,000 times to get off a shot. And that wasn't Michael Jordan's game. Michael Jordan's game was truly efficient. Again, not just in percentage, but also in movement. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. I just thought that was really interesting that Michael Jordan said that the 1-2 pull-up was his most unguardable move. And like I said, when you think back to the many game winners that Michael Jordan has hit, a lot of them were off of that 1-2 pull-up move. And again, it just makes perfect sense. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of Michael Jordan saying that the 1-2 pull-up was his most unguardable move? And what do you think of the explanation that he gave for that? By saying that, hey, it's unguardable because the defender is backpedaling, so he will not be able to get to his highest jump to block you. It makes perfect sense to me. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.